right outside of Chicago where the Great Western Trail and the Illinois Prairie Path meet. Voted 8th best place to live and 28th best place to raise a family. A town that knows how to have fun. Your secret gem of the western suburbs. Welcome to Villa Park. This is Now You Know with your host, Leslie Allison C.I.
Hi Villa Park, I'm Leslie Allison C.I. and this week on Now You Know, we're going to be interviewing Tony Oddo, owner and operator of Michael Anthony's Pizza. Let's go inside and take a look. Hi Villa Park, here we are again today at Michael Anthony's Pizza with Tony Oddo, the owner and operator of this incredible pizzeria. I've had a great time already taking a tour. You guys are going to get to see so much neat stuff. Hang in there. The location is at 211 South Villa Avenue in Villa Park. And we've been here for how long now?
This month, April, will be our 20th anniversary. We opened in April of 2002, so 20 years here in Villa Park.
Congratulations
Thank you
and
very much.
happy anniversary.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
And it's great to interview you, and thank you for this lovely pizza that we'll try in a little bit.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so let's just talk a little bit about the business.
Okay.
First of all, let's start with, how long have you been a resident of Villa Park?
So I grew up in Elmhurst. I've lived there my whole life, and I moved into Villa Park in 1999. I've lived here ever since. I have two daughters and that are being raised here in Villa Park, and I love Villa Park a lot. I'm involved in the community. I'm on economic development committee. I like to be involved with, all kinds of stuff that goes on in the village. And I guess it makes it about 23 years.
Okay, all right. Well, I know that I've seen your pizza boxes at many school events, shall we say, right, over the years.
Yeah, we do quite a bit with all the schools, District 48, District 45, District 88. We're also involved with Villa Park Youth Baseball, Scouts. We do birthday parties and scouting events here where the kids can come in and make their own pizzas.
Oh, wow.
They seem to enjoy that. We do that quite often. They get a little tour of the kitchen. We show them, a little bit of food safety, and then they get to make their own pizzas, and they seem to really enjoy. The kids seem to love it.
Have you hired any of them later on in life?
No, not yet, but I've thought about it. Some of them are pretty good. Yeah, yes, for sure.
Right.
So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you teach them how to flip the pizza?
No, so that's the one thing. We roll the dough out for them, but everything else they put on their own sauce, toppings, cheese. They don't put them in the oven either. The ovens are pretty hot, and the kitchen can be a dangerous place even for children. So they do get a little tour, and we go over the safety, but they do not get to roll the dough or put them in or out of the ovens, unfortunately.
But they do get to taste
They do get to. They get to eat them. Yes, and everybody's looks fantastic when it comes out, and they all look a little bit different. Everybody's comes out unique. So that's a great thing about pizza, is everybody's are similar, but they're all a little different, and they all still taste delicious though.
So, talking about this a little bit more, what is the most unusual pizza that you've made here?
Well, I would say probably the one that everybody probably would raise their eyebrows first would be like pizzas with no cheese on it. We do get some people that are either have dairy issues or that, and we can still make pizzas with no cheese on it. They actually come out very crispy. The toppings cook delicious. It looks pretty good. I've tried it, but that's probably the most non-traditional thing would be the no cheese. We have done some breakfast pizzas with eggs and things like that,
Okay.
but pretty much we do your standard traditional pizza most of the time.
Awesome. So what do you attribute to Michael Anthony's success? I mean, it's hard. You've been around here for 20 years. You have some chains in the area.
Yeah.
How do you compete?
Well, not only is there a lot of great pizzerias in the area that we have to compete with, but Things like we had 2 summers years ago where the road, Villa Avenue, was under construction, and things like that. You know, recessions, things like that have made business difficult at times. Fortunately, we're in the heart of the Villa Park area, where people are traveling from work to home. We have the Prairie Path, so I think we have a great location. We have the Ovaltine factory right out our back door, which was actually one of the main reasons we decided to come into this location in '02. You know, Villa Avenue has grown quite a bit with new businesses coming in, and it's fantastic to see over these 20 years how much Villa Avenue has grown and prospered and changed. I would say the other attributes of why we're successful is definitely my staff. We've had a lot of our same staff here for 15 plus years. I have 2 of my staff that have been here the entire 20 years. I've had some staff that have worked for 6 or 10 years, left for a year or 2 and returned to us, which has been great. But a majority of my staff have been with us for over 15 years, and that's from drivers, phone people, to even the cooks. So consistency and delivering just a consistent, good product that we enjoy eating ourselves. I tell my cooks all the time, if you were going to make some food and you weren't going to serve it to your mother, don't serve it to your customer, to our customers. So
well, that's
kind
quite
of
a testament to you as the owner and the boss here, that you have employees that have stayed that long. That's amazing.
Thank you.
And it shows, the love shows in your product too.
Yeah, wonderful. We love to hear that. So thank you.
So I guess this is a no-brainer, but what motivates you to work as hard as you do? I know you're here pretty much hands-on all the time.
You know, there are times when it's not the easiest to show up to work, just like any job, but pizza is a fun job. You know, making food for people is you see instant satisfaction from the customers. You know, I deliver pizzas too. I'm sure some of the people out there have had me at their doorstep. The kids always, you come to the door and it's the same thing. It's the pizza guy, the pizza guy. You know, the kids are happy, the dog's happy, everybody's usually happy.
Happy to see
Happy
you.
to see us. So, previously, before I was in the restaurant business, I worked in the payphone and vending industry. And I was in service at that job for several years. And at that job, most of the time when you got a phone call, it was because something was either the coin was taken, the phone was broken, somebody was not happy. It was not the most fun job to go to. This, on the other hand, I love making pizzas. I love eating them. I still eat pizza at least 5 times a week. And before this, I in high school, I worked at Mama Maria's Pizza as a delivery driver. I worked in college at Bloomington, Indiana at a pizzeria. So I've been in the food industry for a long time, and I still eat pizza all the time. I'm not tired of it by any means.
So what inspired you to open Michael Anthony's?
Well,
That's quite a jump from...
As I said, I was in the vending industry, primarily payphones, and unfortunately that business was dying on the vine. We saw it coming. I was laid off on September 10th, 2001. And
wow.
I had my original partner, Michael. His family had a couple pizzerias. So I had bounced the idea off of him. We were young at the time. I said, let's open our own pizzeria. And that's why it's called Michael Anthony's. Michael was my partner, I'm Anthony. And there was also his brother, Anthony, who goes by TJ. There was the 3 of us. That's how we came up with the name. And I had kicked it around the idea with him. In November of '01, this building became available, and we jumped right in. We started renting it and remodeling the business. It was DuPage Electric Motors for over 75 years in this property before. We remodeled the building, built the restaurant out, and we're open by April of 2002. So in a pretty short time, we were able to build out the restaurant and open up. And that was the motivation. I was young and I had been let go of my job in that industry. I knew I wasn't going to be doing anything else in it, and I figured it was time to try something different in a restaurant on my own.
I love it. So one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. So like you said, we did a little bit of a tour before we started talking today, and you know, you built out this space,
Yes.
right?
Completely.
Including like this booth.
Yeah. Oh, the
Yeah,
booths.
you want
Yes.
to talk about the booth
So,
a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So we do have a couple booths in here, which we didn't in the very beginning. We used to have a counter that went across here, and our idea was kind of maybe to have a place you could stand up and eat your beef sandwich at. It didn't really work out that well, and we came across these booths. TJ, who I'd mentioned, one of my partners at the time, was also a Melrose Park police officer. And these booths were actually part of the set of Patrick Swayze's last TV show called The Beast, which was filmed here in Chicago. And they were done filming, and the all of the stuff was being stored. I don't know if it was a production storage unit or something was being stored in Melrose Park. And he called me up and said, hey, there's some restaurant here equipment that might look good in Michael Anthony's, and it fit just about perfectly.
Yeah.
And maybe Patrick Swayze sat in one of these at one
right
time.
Here.
So
maybe he
it
sat, right,
sat
here.
right here. So there is a little bit of history behind them, a fun fact, but that's where they came from. And you know, they fit in here almost perfectly. So
Yeah, they look great.
little
They
interesting
look really,
story
really
on it. Yeah.
great.
And it kind of fits in with the vibe. We're going for a family pizzeria where high school kids can come and sit down and enjoy, you know, a pizza with their friends, and that's kind of the motif we've gone for, and it fits. So
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I know.
so if we can find a picture of Patrick Swayze in one of these, we'll put it up on the wall for
There
sure.
you go.
But
I will help you find that.
thank you. I have done a little investigation, but not a whole lot. So.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking about celebrities, who's the most famous person, or
Customers?
yes, customers.
Well,
Who's the most
we have a
famous
few.
customers?
Anita Padilla from the news has been a regular customer of ours. But probably the most famous, who I didn't get to meet and they didn't eat in the restaurant, but the Smashing Pumpkins were practicing at the Odeum before a tour several years ago. And we were told we could cater food it was a high profile guest. We could come in, but you know, be quiet, don't make any, you know, don't try to interact with anybody. But the Smashing Pumpkins were practicing at the Odeum, and we got to feed the Smashing Pumpkins several years ago.
So this is why you deliver pizzas, because
Yeah,
you're still
once in a while.
Yeah, every once in a while you're going to run into the celebrity.
Sure. And I'm sure there's been a few others, but off the top of my head, that's who I would say.
Well, very cool.
pretty-
Awesome.
yeah, so.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about, you know, like you said, you survived the recession, you survived COVID.
Road construction for 2
road
summers.
construction, yes, right, exactly. I mean, you must be doing something right.
Well, I think the food is very consistent and very good. Our menu has grown a lot over the 20 years. I've kept all the incarnations of our menu, so I have them, but the first one was just a 2-page, now we're up to a trifold, but it was basically, we had like one small salad on there. I don't even think we had chicken wings or chicken fingers. It was mainly pizza, some sandwiches, some pasta dishes. We've now grown into several types of wings, several types of fresh made salads, some additional pasta dishes, some additional sandwiches, several different chicken sandwiches. We make our own Italian beef in-house from roast. We make our own meatballs. Probably do about 75% of our food is made from scratch. We do not make our own pastas, unfortunately, or our own sausage. But pretty much our own sauces, our own gravies. We make our own salad dressings, our own creamy garlic, Italian, ranch are all made from scratch. I know our ranch is very, very popular. Our creamy garlic's very, very popular. So over those 20 years, we've expanded our menu, and part of that is fitting the needs of the customers. You know, nowadays people want, the only thing we have never added on that customers ask for is hot dogs. I'll leave that up to Mickey's. I love Mickey's hot dogs. I don't want to compete with them, but we don't do hot dogs, but pretty much everything else we kind of added. We have a New York strip steak sandwich is delicious, but those are all kind of coming from the customers' wants and needs and satisfying what they need. So they don't have to go to several restaurants to get the chicken fingers for the kids, the pizza. for the other kids and the salad for mom and dad, let's say.
Right, right.
So we've expanded our menu quite a bit.
Well, that's amazing. And that now the question, actually, you turn the question on its head.
Okay.
It's like, how do the chains compete with you?
That's
because they can't make all these
No.
ingredients fresh and
Right.
homemade.
Yeah,
So
you know,
that's
unfortunately,
amazing.
we probably cost a little more than some of the chains, but I think our food feeds more people as a whole. You know, it's a lot more real ingredients and foods and things like that than some of the chains. So, you know, fortunately the customers seem to agree with us. That's why we were able to do so much with the schools and the sports teams and the clubs. So.
Okay, all right. Well, I know that you got a little bit of TIF money recently, and so you've done some improvements inside.
Villa Avenue is part of a TIF district, and there's a facade improvement program that me and some of my other neighbors have taken advantage of to help beautify from the streetscape. And so we did get some brand new windows indoor, which we're excited. We got them at the end of last summer. So we're excited to see how they help us out this summer, because we do get quite a lot of western exposure and sunlight coming through, and it gets pretty hot in here. And in the winter, it was really, you could feel the draft coming through the old windows. So they were great through the winter. We're excited to have them for the summer, and we put some hopper windows above the top so we can get some fresh air in. And
yeah, but it isn't just for the fresh air.
Yeah,
It's
to let the smell
the
out. You're
aroma,
right.
the pizza aroma
Right.
out to
But-
all of you that are watching.
Yeah, and we got a lot of compliments from people just driving by saying that the store it brightened it up, freshened it up, and it looks nice. So we're very appreciative of the village for having, you know, help us out with the new windows and doors.
Awesome.
And that. So we're excited to see how they work out for the summer.
Very cool. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about your most proud accomplishment.
Okay. My most proud accomplishment is, I kind of brought it up earlier, is our longevity of the staff that we've had here and our staff retention. You know, I don't say that people work for me, but I always say I work with so-and-so, and I truly feel that way. You know, I could never do any of this by myself. It takes the whole staff, and having the longevity of much of my staff is my most proud accomplishment. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. What advice would you give someone who's thinking about getting into the pizza business?
You know, I get questions all the time, not so much about opening a pizzeria, but people ask me all the time about opening a restaurant. And the number one thing I do tell people is I loved to cook at home, and I still love to cook. But unfortunately, when you have a restaurant, the cooking is the easiest part. It's like an equation. It takes X amount, Y time, and Z gets, you get your answer. The thing that is not the constant is people calling in sick. Just all the human resource stuff that goes on, and problems with, especially lately, supply chains and getting the same foods. And it's all the behind the scene things, the bills, dealing with salespeople. It's all that type of stuff. The cooking is the easy part. It's all of that other stuff that you don't really think about. I think when you go to open, when you imagine yourself as a restaurateur, you don't go, oh, I'm going to be here till 11 at night, doing bills, or on the phone for hours dealing with insurances. And it's those things that kind of make it not so much fun, but they're part of every business. So I would say if you're going to think about opening a restaurant, really think about the work aspect of it. And the cooking and coming up with recipes is the fun part. So.
All right. We talked a little bit, I asked you earlier if you have any family members that work in the restaurant here.
You did ask me that.
And you said no, but that you have
Not
two
yet.
daughters.
I have two daughters.
Did you want to give a shout out
Sure.
to the girls?
Cecilia and Juliet. I have a 6th grader and an 8th grader, soon to be freshman at Willowbrook, and they've grown up here at the restaurant. They spend a lot of time here, especially when they were young kids. They come to work with me. So I'm hoping that eventually here, sooner than later, either Cecilia or Juliet would like to come work either in the kitchen or the phone. So hopefully in the next year or two, you'll maybe be seeing some of my daughters, some young girls here. They do help me out. We've always done Summerfest, Oktoberfest.
Is that happening again this year? by the way?
Summerfest, I believe, is on for this year. And
Now
we'll be
you
there.
know.
Yep, I think it's only one day this year. It's only Saturday instead of the Friday and Saturday, just to
Okay.
get back into it. But we will be there. But my daughters definitely come help me at the fest. We've done the Odium craft shows. We used to do quite a bit. Oktoberfest when that was functioning. So maybe you'll see them out at the fest with me.
That would be awesome.
And they've begun to help me already, and they're a great help. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So, a fun question.
okay.
What would you rather do? Wash dishes, deliver the pizzas, clean the bathroom, or take the pizza orders?
Okay, what would I rather do? I'm a delivery guy by nature. I told you I did it in high school. I was a delivery guy in college. I still run pizzas out all the time. Every once in a while, you will have an order going the complete opposite direction, and I'll be happy to run it. So I would say delivery is, of those four things, delivering is my favorite. Plus, it gets you a chance to get out and see customers at their house, bringing their pizza. And I love hearing, hey, it's the pizza guy when I come up to the door. So
So what do you play on the radio when you're delivering pizzas? What's your favorite radio station?
Sometimes I like to, my kids will tell you this, and this will probably sound corny. I like to listen to radio classics on Sirius XM. So it's calming. So I listen to like radio shows from the 40s and 50s most of the time.
Cool.
Or some music here and there. I definitely like music a lot, but when you're out delivering, I usually like to keep it kind of mellow and calm. So,
Alright.
so usually old radio programs.
Very cool. So, what is the least favorite job that you have here?
Probably any of the cleaning, but I still jump in and do it. I'll help wash dishes if it needs to be. What was the fourth one?
Taking the order.
Oh, was there cleaning toilets or something?
Yeah, right.
I would say cleaning toilets is
Toilets are the
probably
worst.
the worst, which fortunately I don't have to do it that often, but I jump in and do it. I answer phones. We had a couple weeks here where I didn't have anybody that was able to work on Wednesday nights. I was working the phones for a couple months on Wednesday nights. So I'll do whatever needs to be done. So,
Well, that's part of what makes
yeah.
you a great boss.
And I have staff I have several people that can do everything. They can deliver, they can answer the phones, they can make food. So that's very helpful to have some staff like that. And it
Yeah.
comes with time, of them being around that they're able to do that. So.
Really, really fantastic. I mean, a lot of people could take a page out of your book on how to be a great boss.
Well, thank
So,
you. Thank you.
Yeah. We're constantly making things better, faster, smarter, or less expensive. We leverage technology or improve processes. In other words, we strive to do more with less.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about how Michael Anthony's has improved over the years to make the business better, faster, more efficient, or less expensive.
Sure, I have a couple answers for you there. So not only did we expand our menu, which made things probably more complicated, but I would say about 5 or 6 years ago, we went to POS systems, point of sale, which is where you see them at most restaurants where you can like type it in. We used to do for many years all the orders by hand, and that includes adding up prices, writing it down, and it worked pretty well. But even though we've all worked together and we have the same language for taking orders, sometimes people change it up a little bit. Having the POS system makes everything very consistent. So when the person who takes the order then passes it on to the cooks and then on to the drivers so that it goes through that chain, it's all written the same by every person now. So the POS system has been very helpful in speeding up our time on the phones and just taking the orders so that we can be faster with that. We did rearrange our kitchen about 6 years ago. Also, we had a consultant come in and we reconfigured our kitchen so that it's faster. so people stay in their position more. They don't have to move around quite as often, so it saves them steps. We kind of changed the position of where the girls were at, so now they were looking out at the front door when customers are coming in, before they were kind of facing the wall. And all in all, just some things like that to streamline how quickly we can take the orders, make the orders, and get them out the door. And it all adds up when you're working 12 hours a day. A few minutes here every time really adds up. So basically the POS system and reconfiguring our kitchen made things a lot smoother and faster. And brought us into, the 21st century,
okay.
even though
all right, but I'm going to call you out because we did go back in your kitchen and I saw a map on the wall from about 20 years ago, I'm assuming.
It might even be older. It might have been printed well before that. Yes, there are maps still on the wall.
I suggested you could try Waze or, Google Maps, and you pointed out a good point, about Brandywine. You actually have a map of Brandywine.
Yes.
And let's talk a little bit about that.
So we do use Waze and Google Maps, and definitely being a delivery driver from the 80s, 90s, I remember having a map in my car and having a couple quarters to run to the 7-Eleven if you needed to make an emergency phone call if the address was wrong or something like that. So having a cell phone with Waze or Google Maps is definitely a huge time saver. But it still is nice to have your maps, especially for like Brandywine, where some of the streets are technically sidewalks.
Right.
And just a lot of, people in one small area. It definitely helps to have a map so you know where you're going before you leave. But we do use the Google Maps in that quite a bit. I know I do when I'm delivering for sure.
Okay. So, a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to keep some of the old stuff around, if it still works.
There you go. Right.
But yes, I do remember.
Why fix it if it ain't broken?
Right. But I do remember having a little, like a City of Elmhurst map and a City of Villa Park map in my car. I think they were out of the back of the phone book. Who uses a phone book anymore? So things have definitely changed in the 20 years we're here. A little bit.
All right. So now we're going to get into some fun questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I like fun.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I promise I won't put you on the spot too much here.
Okay.
But if you could only eat one meal every day for the rest of your life, what would it be, Tony?
Okay. Well, the obvious answer would probably be pizza, but I don't think I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go out and say I'd probably eat some type of Mexican food. Because I like spicy a lot, but probably Mexican food, just anything in general. But pizza would be close second, because I don't know if I could give up pizza cold turkey, especially after eating it as much as I do. So to say that I would never eat it again, probably Mexican food would be my answer, but it might be pizza.
Well, I'm really impressed because I don't know how you can eat pizza 5 times a week and keep your physique.
I'm on the go a lot.
There we go. All right. That explains it. So, if you have 30 minutes of free time, what do you do to pass that time? Which I'm sure is few and far between.
If I really had 30 minutes, I would probably take a nap. But I'd probably go home and play with my dog for a little bit.
Okay.
Or run my kids somewhere, because they're on the go all the time. So, but I guess that wouldn't be my free time.
That would not be free time.
No. Probably just enjoy sitting outside and playing with the dog.
Okay. All right. What kind of dog do you have?
She's a German Shepherd Pit Bull Lab mix. She was a rescue from Canine Connections. She's 2 years old, Francie. We love her.
Awesome. Well, I'm thrilled that you do that. So, last question. What makes you laugh the most?
Oh, what makes me laugh the most? Probably just spending time with my kids and playing board games and hanging out with them.
All right.
And laughing at myself. I'm pretty silly. I make a lot of mistakes all the time, and I've learned it's best just to laugh at myself about them and not take it too seriously. So
that's awesome.
I laugh at myself quite a bit. And
you
hopefully other people do. Yeah, hopefully other people do too a little bit.
There you go.
So.
Awesome. So, any last thoughts that you'd like to share with Villa Park?
Well, Just a reminder again, we are having our 20th anniversary here this April of 2022. And we just want to thank Villa Park for embracing us and having us be part of the town. We live here. We have it on our menus, locally owned and operated. But just thank you very much, Villa Park. We love it here, and we're not going anywhere anytime soon. So.
Oh, we love you too.
Thank you.
Happy
and
anniversary.
Thank you guys for coming out, the Cable Commission, for doing this. We really, really appreciate it. It's great that you're doing this for the businesses.
It's our pleasure. We're having a lot of fun with this.
Good.
And so,
Okay.
part of this show, now you know, is after you've gone through the gauntlet with me,
Okay.
you get to tag the next person or the next idea.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
Okay,
So
well-
who should we get to know?
All right, there's a few people I would pick, but I'm gonna pick a neighbor just down the block here. I'm gonna pick Dave Casey from Mike's Meat Market.
Oh, we're coming after you, Dave.
Love Mike's Meat Market. And I'm gonna do a little shout out to them because they've actually saved our butts a few times. And I'm sure at least one of them was over like a Memorial Day weekend one year, but I had my 3-door freezer go out, I think 2 or 3 times over the years. And Dave was very nice and let us store some of our frozen stuff down in his freezer so we didn't lose any of our product, which was very, very nice of him and a lifesaver for us. We were able to keep our full menu functioning while we were getting our freezer repaired, and we would not have been able to do that without such nice neighbors like that. So
now you know.
yeah. So if you need freezer space, just ask Dave, I guess.
I'm sure
Well,
he's
they
going
have
to appreciate
They
that.
have a nice big walk-in freezer, so they had some extra room. So, but yes, that was very nice of them. So.
Cool.
But thank you guys very much again for doing this for us. So.
Can we have?
Oh, please
can we
help
try
yourselves.
a
Yeah.
little bit?
So we have a work salad here, and just a thin crust pizza. I think it's sausage, pepperoni, and green pepper. It looks like. Please help yourselves, guys.
Oh my gosh.
And we got more food if you would like something else.
Hi Villa Park, I'm Leslie Allison CI, and you're watching Now You Know. We're so excited to have you join us on Comcast Cable Channel number 6 and AT&T UVerse 99. See you soon.
Today's episode has been brought to you by Michael Anthony's Pizza in Villa Park.
Hi, I'm Tony Oddo, owner of Michael Anthony's Pizza, located at 211 South Villa Avenue here in Villa Park. Our phone number is 833-0333, and you can find us on the web at pizzavillapark.com.
Hey, where's the pizza?